It's December 2nd, 2025. So right now on Griswolds, we just had a very, very simple table read of the show. So we are taking a look at how that went, making some more tweaks and adjustment. The writers are hard at work with the director, what's working, how they imagine it, what can we shift and change. And then we're also at the same time starting to talk to the designers about how we take what we did in 2022 and put it on a Broadway stage as we wait for a Broadway theater and this phone to ring. If I had to describe this part of the journey, it would be like the prep before like a leap for a dancer. It'd be like the bending of the knees. I was a terrible dancer, but the thing that I remember was like, if you want to jump, if you want to pirouette, or if you want to do the things, it's about the prep before it. And that's what I think we're like in that slight bend of the knees, like preparing to leap. The biggest win was this little table read we did last week. Like the piece took another massive leap forward. And that's what's so like amazing about the development of musicals and plays and all of it. And I'm sure everyone out there who does this knows this feeling. Like you do a reading and you're like, oh my gosh, this is it. We've got it. This is great. And then you're like, okay, we just want to tweak some more things. And then you're like, unlock something else. And then you do another. You're like, we thought we had it before. Look at where it's come since then. And like, that's a great creative team, which we have. Rossmer and Rosen and Donna Feore and Greg, our music director, like they're just constantly working on this thing and constantly bettering themselves, which is the type of artist that I love to work with. The toughest challenge with Vacation so far is that we know we have this thing that audiences love, and frankly, they loved it in 2022 and they're gonna love it even more. The hardest thing, and this goes for me as a human being, is having patience. Like I wanna get going right now and get this thing on Broadway like next month. First of all, we couldn't do that because we probably couldn't even get it on sale next month. But waiting is the hardest thing. Like for theater producers, we don't control our distribution. We have to wait for someone to give us the keys to a theater. And for control freaks like me, that's very, very hard. So that's the hard part. The assumption that I had about Vacation that turned out to be wrong is that it would be all about the funny. And I was like, we're gonna make this the funniest thing, and we have. But the assumption that it's more about the heart than anything else. That family of four coming from the Midwest to New York City and finding each other again, like that's the part. People cry at Vacation, like in the reading. That has been a massive shocker to me. But that's, I think, what separates it from just being a regular, oh, it's Vacation on stage. You know, it really has heart to it. The decision that's kept me up the most at night the last couple months was the amount of money we had to spend when we went out of town. So development costs have like exploded. We've all talked about costs in New York and all that, and that's all true. They're up probably 30% since pre-pandemic. But we haven't talked so much about how much it costs to take a show out of town. And that stuff locally has increased dramatically. I mean, we paid a very high price to go out of town. At the time, we were like, this is the way it's going. And we were all bullish that when we got back to Broadway, Broadway would be exactly where it was in 2018, 2019, with increases based on it was 6 years later. It's back to 2018, 2019, but without much of an increase. So we've spent a lot more money, and that's kept me up at night. But you know what? I love a challenge. So now we're trying to figure out what we can do to take that money, use what we've spent now instead of respending, and to make the budget something that's workable for a 2026 production. The part of the creative process that I'm focused on right now is giving every single member of my team the support they need. So the support and guidance. Like I had another show this summer, right? We had Joy, so I learned a lot from that about what audiences want and what these make. So I'm saying to them, okay, we have a different Broadway than we had when we started this. Here's what I think people are looking for. Here's what economically I think a show can handle. I want you to like make the show better and better and better, but I gotta give you some bumpers and then let them go and do the thing and come back and sort of help guide them. But I like to let my artists run. I've said to them many times, like, go and be the writers that I fell in love with when I saw you do Don't Quit Your Night Job, this post-show improv show that they did with friends at night, who, if anyone out there has ever saw Don't Quit Your Night Job, you know exactly what I'm talking about. It was that energy, that raw, like down and dirty, late at night improv quality that I want in the show. So I've literally said to them, just go be you, do your thing. So the member of the team that's impressed me the most lately is Greg Anthony Rassin, our music director, because we just did this reading and they changed a whole bunch of songs and he came in and was like, all right, I got it all ready to go. Here we go. And I was like, the new music? Oh yeah, print it up. Like, music directors are some of the most talented people on the planet because they not only can play like anybody's business, right? I dreamed about being able to play the piano like that. I can play chords. I can play Bring Him Home and like All I Ask of You. And they can all play all this stuff, but then they can arrange it and they can all do that stuff fast. Oh, you need some music here? Let me just add this. Oh, what about this? Oh, he's going to dance here and do a cartwheel and needs to land on the 3 and you want to like a bing? Great. Like, and what he did to pull this table read together, like it's the music is the root word of musical. It's very important. And all the score of it is the glue. And he gave us a lot of glue, so he's the one that's impressed me most lately. We have an idea on vacation to do something outside the theater before the show begins that no show has ever done before. It will be a creative risk. It will be a logistical risk. It will cost some money, but it's the type of thing that if we can pull it off, will be something that is not only creatively very successful, but it will be something that becomes one of those things that people talk about. Video, put on X, Facebook, all those things. It will be something where people go, oh my gosh, I've never seen anything like that before. And that, I think, is the key to making a successful play, musical, frankly, anything. By next month, I expect that we will have more information that I probably won't be able to tell you, but more information about our schedule and casting. And I say those two things at the same time because often they are directly related. When you are looking to put certain people in your cast, you have to look at their schedule. Right? It's not just like they're able to say like, yeah, whenever you want. No. If you want certain people, they're often in demand and other people want them too. So it's sometimes a shocker that any of these things actually happen. I used to say that producing a Broadway musical was trying to land the space shuttle. You know, if you ever watched them do that, there was like this much of a window. If you watched like Space Camp or any of those things, there was like this sliver of a window where you could like get the shuttle to the ground. Same thing. The stars have to align, the window has to be right there. And I am hopeful that we will have more information about the schedule cast and hopeful they will line up. I'm most proud of the fact that the show continues to get better and better and better and that we are continuing to work on it. A lot of people, and this is another testament to this creative team, a lot of people just stop. You know, call me and say like, when you get a theater, let us know. We'll start working again. Whenever I have a question or a thought or an idea, I'll call Steve and be like, hey, Steve, can you see if you can get Rossmer on the phone? And he's like, oh, it's right here. I was like, what? Oh yeah, we're working on the show right now. I can't tell you how many times that has happened. And that's what's amazing about this team. They won't stop. So I'm most proud of the fact that we haven't stopped and we won't. Honestly, every time I open my phone and look at the news, like, it's not so good. You wonder, when is this going to change? When is the war going to end? Like all this stuff. It's just like so much, including on social media. It feels like everybody's telling you how to do, you're doing something wrong. You know, whether it's parenting or whether it's crocheting, like you're doing something wrong. You should really be doing it this way. It's like, oh my gosh, can't I just live my life? And the fact is, vacation just makes you forget all that. I mean, that's why musicals were created in the first place, to get you to forget about the troubles of the world and to go and enjoy and have a great time. And that's what vacation does with this huge amount of heart, and reminds you what's really important are the people around you, the people you are going to the theater with. And I expect to see a lot of this around a spouse, around a child, and bringing them together. And that's what I think is important.
And that's it. Can we actually go back? Can we get the date?